good evening. We're going to call tonight's meeting to order. Don't adjust your internet connection. I'm not Tom Price. I'm Sarah Lewis, the Vice President. We'll see Tom at next meeting. We're going to go ahead and start our meeting by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, we are honored to have Evelyn Edmonds here. Evelyn is a member of the Krogan Girls with Goals group. She is a 5th grader at Krogan, and she's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. So if we could stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job. Thank you. We have a good I got a goodie for you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right. Madam Treasurer, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Bloom. Here. Ms. Lehman.
Here.
Ms. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Nally.
Here.
Mr. Price. Not here.
Okay. Can we have a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting, the organizational meeting and regular meeting we had on the 28th?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. All in?
Uh-huh.
All in favor? Oh, roll call. I'm sorry.
Discussion. And roll.
See, this is Mr. Price. What did you do?
We'll get through this.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bloom.
Yes.
Ms. Lehman.
Yes.
Mr. Nally.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes. Motion's approved. Legislative report, Mr. Nally.
Yes. Just a couple comments. Most of the information that I have regarding active bills and things going on right now are also you also had in your weekly note from our treasurer. But I would kind of mention kind of what some of those were. There was a bill dealing with annexation, financial disclosures and such. And basically that just talks a little bit about the requirements of a school district regarding the community reinvestment area property tax, similar to, like what we had experienced recently with accepting some of those. Also, there's discussion about putting together a blue ribbon committee in each county to review taxing units and county programs to identify duplication of services and to improve efficiency and effectiveness. I guess I'll hold back my personal comment on that. And there's also some discussion about, I guess, some schools that have junior ROTC programs and how those fit into, or they want to have them fit into the career tech programs. There's also school behavioral threat management bill, House Bill 189. It establishes a statewide behavioral threat management operational process for public and chartered schools, chartered non-public schools. The two things that hit me there, one, I'm not sure that the legislature should, or that they're the best to look at things like behavioral threat management when we have, kind of our experts within the school systems that deal with those particular issues. I think it's obviously a concern, but that's one of those that I think goes back more to the individual school districts.
Or maybe if at the state level things were just put out for guidance as opposed to law,
Yeah, yeah.
guidance on how
Or
schools can handle situations and
Sure.
such.
I agree. I just think that we have the people that have the expertise, or they know on a local level where to find that expertise, and if they don't, then I would have concerns about those school districts. I just think if we have issues there, that Mrs. Hurt would be pulling together those management type people from other areas of our community to address, and who knows what specifically they're putting into that particular bill.
Certainly.
How do they define that? There's discussion about adding high school computer science requirements for all students, that they at least have one computer science course, and talk a little bit about the academic intervention in public schools. And again, talks about establishing mathematics improvement and intervention plans. And again, I think that falls more, in my mind, to the Ohio Department of Education or and workforce to recommend or to deal with that. But again, that falls back to our local school districts, in regards to improving. One of the other ones that kind of jumps out at me is this House Bill 661. It's to prohibit a middle or high school athlete from earning compensation from the athlete's name, image, or likeness, that NIL issue. And, I think, again, I think that's one that everybody has some opinion on. Should athletes, even at the college level, should that be paid? Yes or no? And now we're getting into, the junior high and high school is what they're, and it just seems a little bit too deep in my head that, that's even happening.
And who's paying that?
What?
Who's paying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
NIL for 7th through 12th grade student athletes is currently a component that is new to us, but is something that is on the books, and that would be private, local, or wider businesses that would like to sponsor student athletes in grades 7 through 12 for their name, image, or likeness. So that's a piece that's out there. The legislation would be look at retracting that.
Right.
So it's just getting started because it's new to us. So
I think
the legislation is looking to pull back on that and take that away.
But isn't that, it's also being driven by, I think, an initial lawsuit where there was a young man and his mother that sued and regarding the NIL. And I think that all plays in because apparently somewhere there's an athlete that has been offered or wants to be paid in the high school level. And, and again, I think they're addressing that. Again, it's one of those, who's in favor of and who's not. The final thing that I would mention is in the news, Governor DeWine has come out pretty strongly questioning the effort to get rid of all property taxes. And I think what he has shared with that is what we've talked about at previous meetings, and that is if you get rid of the property taxes, they still have to at the state level have to figure out how to fund, whether it's fund less or do it differently, but they still have to fund. And he had commented that he could see sales tax on all items going up possibly as high as 20% and an additional 20%. So if you look at, buying that candy bar and paying 5 cents, you're going to multiply that up, to add that 20% in. And the candy bar is a small item. If you talk about your grocery basket and, spending $100 or $200, and then you start adding that on, that's going to significantly impact people and the people that are already struggling. So in one area that I guess I would agree that, he needs to be strong on sharing his thoughts on that. And the legislature will, come up with what direction they want to lead with that. That's all I had.
Thank you for your report. And I just appreciate that every week you come very prepared for all of us with good information across the board. So thank you, Mr. Nally.
And I would point out, I did not use the voucher word once in my report tonight. That's something I'll leave for next
Still new for February, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Superintendent Hurt, any walk-on items?
No, ma'am. No walk-on items this evening.
It doesn't appear that there's anybody here from the community, so I think we can move right into the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Glad we are all here together this evening. Just a couple of things that I'd like to mention. I was very happy last week to be able to represent Fremont City Schools within a community discussion that took place. I was invited by our local NAACP chapter in our community, and they had put together a panel of leaders within our community to be present. And thankfully, there were somewhere between 30 and 40 individuals that took time out of their evening to come and join that conversation. But it was truly an opportunity to have some conversation around very important topics like trust and transparency and communication and building relationships, all of what we talk about every day within our school system with lots of humans involved. So I was very, very honored to sit there with that group of experts and be able to represent our district. It was a great opportunity. I can say that from the discussion on Thursday evening, that it does not appear that that will be the last opportunity for those community discussions. And so I champion our leaders within the community to be able to continue to come together and just have great conversation. It really went well. So I'm happy to report that. I'm happy to have been able to represent us. Along those lines of communication, I would like to give just a quick reminder that tomorrow at 12:30 at the Hayes Presidential Library and Museums, in their cafe, which is just inside their shop inside the museum, I will be hosting our next Roscoe's Roundtable. So an opportunity for stakeholders to share questions and concerns and to continue that dialogue. So that will be an exciting opportunity for that tomorrow, to put that trust and relationship building, to put it into action. So I'm excited for that piece. This past week or so, we had a policy committee meeting. So I will share just a a few updates from that committee meeting. And Mr. Nally, as you were present at that meeting as well, if there's anything you'd like to add in. Unlike some of our past policy meetings that have sometimes been very lengthy and held many, many policies at once, this one was much shorter, much more doable. We only had a couple that we were looking at, two of which were just very quick updates regarding our district mission and vision. I think it got caught up last time. I think we didn't get a good update for that. So I wanted to make sure that we were removing the old mission, vision, and belief statements that were present, and at making sure that our document that is within our policy is accurate and is aligned to our strategic plan and the work that we've done with that. So that was policy ADAA as well as policy AE, which aligns with our district's strategic objectives and goals and our action steps. And so making that very, very real. The language for AE allows us to have some very big picture thinking and guides the work. The details of those strategic objectives and action steps are housed within our strategic plan. So we know that is a document that we truly live by in this district. There was just some slight tweaking to policy and regulation DLC, which is the expense reimbursement. That was truly just some language that tweaked in the law, and it should have looked familiar to you because we just saw it not too long ago. I think it might have been like in a second reading, and now it's coming back to you in a first reading because legislatively, a few things needed to change there. And then the other big piece that we added in there, which is a new policy, EBDE, has to do with the procurement and administration of the overdose reversal drugs. So we had some great conversation within our committee for where we keep those items in our building and who is trained to utilize those items in our buildings, but truly making them accessible. And it followed the language in the law for that policy piece. Mr. Nally, anything to add for that?
Not really. You really covered it well.
Right. Thank you very much. Lastly, within my report this evening, I'd asked Mrs. Abernathy to come forward. Mr. Nally used the term academic intervention. In our district, we do a lot of interventions from preschool all the way up through grade 12. And it looks very different sometimes depending on our objective, depends on our grade level. But we do have later in our agenda, I'm going to ask that you approve the hiring of some additional time for some of our certified staff. And so I'd ask Mrs. Abernathy to give you a little bit of background for that.
Thank you for having me. So the last couple of years, we have hired our teachers to stay after school and work with our students on OST or Ohio State test prep. And sometimes that looks like, academic boosting or even, test taking skills, stuff like that. So each of our elementary buildings, they have students in grades 3 through 5 who are grouped together, and they'll stay after school with our teachers. There are several tutors for each building, you'll notice, because they divide up. Each building gets 100 hours. Last year, they were on average using about 90 hours. So we went to 100 hours this year. And they group those students. It could be by grade level. It could be by what days of the week. Usually they stay Monday through Thursday, depending on the building. Or it could be even by subject area. Maybe our math teacher, has a math lab on Tuesdays, and, fourth grade goes there as an example. Each building has their own kind of schedule to it, and it really works out well. So between the buildings, like I said, it's 400 total hours, and it's divided up. They each get 100. The principals work on the schedules with the tutors and with our parents. They do a great job communicating home, because then also sometimes those parents need to come get their students later in the evening because they don't start till 3:45 when our teachers are off of their teaching contract time. And they've had really great turnouts over the last few years. And so every year they come to me, usually before Christmas, like, are we doing it again? Are we doing it again? They always went to Denise before. Now I'm lucky enough to have them. So it's a pretty cool opportunity. But also I want to share, it will be no more than $10,000, which is a lot of money. However, we have a grant, it's a Title IV grant, and that is specifically for student interventions, a federal grant that comes into us. So that is use it or lose it type of dollars. And so we honestly get more money than that, but that's where we earmark that money for the tutoring in those grade levels.
Wonderful.
We use it for other stuff as well, like I said, but that's what we do. So, we're really fortunate for that. And so when you hear conversations about, school funding and stuff, this is just one great example that it's really is impacting our student achievement.
How do they determine what area they're going to cover with that individual student?
Yep. So grades 3 and 4, they'll do reading, writing, and math. And then in 5th grade, they add that science because there's an extra OST there. And so what they do, it comes by teacher recommendation and also parent recommendation if the parent reaches out to the principal. But a lot of times, just due to all the other intervention work and the data that's collected through iReady and day-to-day academic skills, they can see what students, would really benefit from that. And then, like I said, it's also test taking prep. It's not just the academic piece to it. It's, how to read the questions, giving them assistance on how much they should write on some of those sample questions. Because what they'll do is they'll pull old test questions that are released because they release the test questions, most of them, not all of them. And they will also add, that to their tutoring to actually read real questions. And some of our curriculum will have some OST test prep as well.
Super.
Thanks for that question. That's a good question.
Right. Thank you very much,
Okay,
Mrs.
thank you.
Abernathy. I appreciate. Thank you, Abby. All right. If you're okay, Ms. Lewis, I'll continue.
Let's proceed.
All right. I would ask your approval of item number 1 to consider some donations this evening, beginning with Bishop Huffman Teen Leadership Corps students and ending with the Gordon Todd family.
Okay. I have a motion for item number 1, please.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom, second by Mr. Nally. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom.
Yes.
Mr. Nally.
Yes.
Ms. Lehman.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes. Motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Item number 2, this is just an annual approval of a contract for next school year, actually. We're just a little ahead. This is that we will cooperate and follow with OHSAA policy, bylaws, and regulations. This agreement oversees all of our student athletes in grades 7 through 12.
Okay. Can I have a motion for item number 2, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lehman. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lehman.
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom.
Yes.
Mr. Nally.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes. Motion's approved.
Thank you very much. In item number 3, I would ask that you consider the approval of a service agreement with Mrs. Barb McNutt for some consultation services that allows us to help our students who we serve in the district that have an IEP with those transition skills between where they are in school with us and then those pieces and parts that come after school, whether those be life skills or work-related items, and helping make sure that we're getting our students on the very best foot after graduation.
Okay. Can I have a motion for item 3, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion?
So with this, we're really not adding, you had mentioned earlier, we're really not adding additional people beyond our budget. When this individual retired, we've kind of looked at where can that divide out, and
That is accurate, Mr. Nally. So, Ms. McNutt was a longtime employee of the district, and many times with those positions, sometimes the position that we retire with doesn't always resemble the position that we started with.
Sure.
You know, along the way, lots of things are added on. So with her retirement at the end of last school year, we looked very closely at some of those job duties, and we kind of repositioned some of those with existing staff. And then we were left with this piece that is so very important of a service for our students, as well as for the district, because there's a legality there that we must provide some of these pieces. And so we wanted to make sure that we were still doing that. And she was willing to provide some consultation and assist us to make sure that we are checking all of those boxes.
Well, I think that's great, you know, to reevaluate when those opportunities happen and, you know, just for the efficiency and cost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you.
Absolutely. It's always a balance between making sure that what we are providing not only checks the box of the legalities, but is quality, and that the service is meaningful, with being thoughtful with our dollars that we spend. My treasurer likes that part. Thank you.
Great explanation. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom. Yes. Ms. Lewis.
Yes, motion approved.
Wonderful. Thank you. Beginning with item number 4, we have first reading of those policies that I detailed previously, from item number 4 to item number 8.
Okay, can I have a motion for items 4 through 8, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom. Yes. Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Thank you. And item number 9, this is something that we have done for the last several years. This resolution that I would ask for your approval on will allow us to provide our 3rd grade only, and for their English language arts test only, a paper version. We have found in this district that truly, we feel, gives our students the best opportunity to convey their information for reading and writing without having to be tied to the computer quite yet.
Okay, can I have a motion for item 9, please?
I'll move.
Second, or motion by Ms. Lehman, second.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion?
I just love that idea. I've loved it every time I've heard it come up.
Thank you. We will eventually move to the online format. But truly, that 3rd grade test comes up really fast in October.
And maybe someday, I mean, like, well, I'm sure, but and possibly someday, even when it does come to the computer, you might still have to have this option for some of the kids that maybe will never move on to the computer. You never know. Cross that bridge when
There's
we
always
get there.
accommodations available
Yeah.
for some students. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think we just always, as a district, do what's in the best interest of the students. And I think administratively, you guys do a really nice job looking at things as the whole and the part. So you can see like the big picture and how simple things like how we take the test or how it's administered, how those things affect the kiddos on the whole and in the parts as well. So, okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom. Yes. Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes, motion's approved.
thank you. Item number 10 moves us into our staff component. So we have some approval that I'm requesting for some appointments. We have some substitute positions. Item number 11 are those supplemental contracts that Abby spoke about a little while ago, as well as we have some spring coaches coming on board with us. So very happy to think about softball a little bit, because maybe then that will put the snow in the rearview mirror.
All right, may I have a motion for items 10 and 11, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Come on, Spring.
Mm.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom. Yes. Ms. Lehman,
Yeah.
Ms. Lewis.
Not Mr. Price.
I know. Sorry.
Yes.
Mhm. Item number 12, thank you very much. Item number 12, I had set aside with the thought that Mr. Price would be with us, so I didn't change our agenda. So Cassidy Price will join us as one of those OST tutors, please.
Motion for item number 12, please.
So moved.
And motion by Ms. Lehman. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lehman,
Yeah.
Mrs. Bloom. Yes. Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Thank you very much. Item 13 is a one of our varsity assistant track coaches, new to us, coming along with our new varsity head coach that we had a couple weeks ago. Item 14 are some special event workers. These are special event workers for tournament play. We will be hosting some girls basketball, some boys basketball. We have a district game coming our way. We have some sectional games. I believe that there's also a swim tournament event that is coming. So,
Nice.
so very, very nice. But again, we'll need individuals to run those events for us.
All right. Can I have a motion for items 13 and 14, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion?
Just a comment that it's great to hear that, you know, the powers that make those decisions of where tournaments and, you know, all those things are, that we have the facilities that can accommodate that. And so I think that's a real positive.
Additionally, I'd just like to say that our new head track coach is already boots on the ground and making contacts with everybody who has track on their final forms. So already starting with making contacts with those student athletes. Really nice introduction message to all of the parents. Who he is, what his history and background in the sport is. I was just really glad to see that. So
I did not realize who he was until his mom posted on Facebook, and I'm friends with her. We went to junior high and high school together.
nice.
Yeah, we were all in the nursery, her and another girl. We were all in the nursery together when we were born. But yeah, I was like, hey, I got to affirm him.
Yeah, it was just nice to see that he's already. I mean, because we're gonna blink and track season's gonna be here.
Correct.
So already, you know, weight room, just good information about starting to get in shape for
Great.
track. So far, so good.
That is great.
Yep. Where am I at? Roll call? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yeah.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you very much. Item number 15, I ask for your approval for Ms. Mandy Miller to attend a conference in Columbus for us. I need to have that on the here. It does push that dollar amount. I want to make sure that we're visible.
I may I have a motion for item number 15, please.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? This is an annual conference that she attends.
It is, yes.
Okay, good. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes, motion's approved.
Wonderful. In item number 16, I would ask that your approval allow for a military recruitment bonus to be reimbursed by the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce to our employee by the name of Charles Molliot. And I'm going to ask Ms. Parkhurst just to give a little bit of additional background for that. this is a different piece that we have not seen on our agenda in the past.
So, some legislation in the past created this bonus for, it's kind of, I'm trying to think the best way to say it. The state would like to recognize the different sort of experience that military background brings to employees. And so, starting any employee hired after July 1 of 2023 and completes a year in employment with a new employee, first time employment by a public school district, they offer this bonus for that military person, and then they will reimburse the school district for that bonus and any retirement benefits that are attached to it. So Mr. Malia is the first one in the district force that has met the requirements of this, and the employee themselves has to apply for it, and then we have to do a little bit on our side, and so he got that all completed, and we actually, I think, are going to be getting the payment from the state in February. So
Nice.
yes.
It's just a wonderful additional manner to recognize his service to our country. Very nice.
Thank you for that explanation. Can I have a motion for item number 16, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? What capacity does Mr. Malliot serve
Oh,
in the district?
Sorry, he is one of our maintenance employees.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
And I'm told he's a wonderful asset. Don't know if I support that belief, but
I will say that he truly presents as an employee that is willing to jump in and do whatever is asked, and in the maintenance department that is very varied. It truly is that they never quite know what one day to the next will bring. Just like in your own personal households, you never know what's going to break when.
Sure.
But also I would tie back into that military experience that he brings us, that he has been able to assist within our transportation department because of some of the diesel work and mechanic work that he was able to do when he was in the service. So he's been able to tie some of those experiences and some of that skill set and really put that into motion, and our district benefits.
So
very happy.
truly living up to this bonus that
Yeah.
Very much so.
that he's earned. Well, wonderful. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes, motion approved.
Wonderful. And that completes the superintendent's portion this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On to the report of the treasurer.
I am so excited to finally get to say this. Our fiscal 24 audit is done and completed. You should have all got a bunch of emails last week. A, to officially end that audit, and B, to start our next audit. They've been in district and rolling. They came in this morning and met with me and went over some different things. So we are rolling on that. Everyone is so excited. Told them all to be on their best behavior when those auditors are in the office. But I'm just glad that fiscal 24 is behind us. Talked to the audit manager and I said, I swear this one's going to be easy. And he said, I bet so, Megan. So, so yes, I'm so happy and excited to finally get done with fiscal 24 and moving on, getting fiscal 25 wrapped up and just keep moving on. Because at the end of fiscal 26 is going to be here before I know it. I still have trouble writing 2026 when I sign things.
Sure.
And then that's all I have for my report. If we can move on. Oh, I will just give you a little bit of information on item 17. So they have this cash available in their accounts. We're just making it so it's expendable. Every year about this time, they have to spend a little bit more than what they spent last year. And with us approving everything at 100% of what you spent last year, now is the time they can really look at it and go, okay, how much do we need additional to cover the different costs? Because catering and all of that fun stuff for their banquet is popping up now, and everybody's seen that inflation. So,
Yes, we have.
Real.
yep. So if I can move on for the approvals of that.
Okay. Can I have a motion for item number 17, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lehman. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nally. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes, motion's approved. All right. Board member communications. Mr. Nally.
I just looking at the different marketing and communication that we have going on in the district. I think there's a lot of real positive there. I just my hope is that the people in the community kind of grab onto those things and listen and hear all the good things that are going on. And if somebody has a concern or doesn't feel like we're hitting all the right populations of people in our community, I would just encourage them to make a contact with our superintendent or one of us to kind of share and kind of work through that, because I think, you know, as levies come up, we don't want to be seen as, oh, they're asking for money and now they're out there. And I think we have, as a district, have made a concerted effort to communicate. You know, when you look at the newsletter that goes out to all the households, and you look at things that are being posted on Facebook, you know, it's just a very positive thing. And I would just encourage people to look. And if they have questions or concerns, get in touch and let's work those things through so that they're not looked at as a last minute. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Lehman.
All I have to say is I did notice within the past couple weeks, when we were having a lot of days where the kids were staying home, school closings, whatever, I noticed in our facility we had more little kids coming in and visiting their grandparents. That was giving them a chance to, since they didn't have to be at school, and if the parents were home, bring them in, and that was such a joy to see with, you know, the residents obviously they take care of. It just made their day. And I don't know. I'm just going to encourage people, you know, I don't know how many other days we won't be in school or whatever's going on, but if you have a chance, do that, because I feel like that's a good use of your time. If you're not in school, you can maybe slide in those extra things that you don't usually get to. But it's something that I noticed. I kind of sat back and thought about that last week. I said, boy, you know, I've noticed more kids in here, and you can always, you can feel it in the atmosphere. It makes a big difference. So I thought I would put a spin there. You know, some people don't think of it like that or think of the whole scenaw, but it's something that I seen with my eyes and I felt it. So it's good stuff.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Bloom.
Well, Evelyn, thank you for the pledge. She is actually related to me, my husband, on his side of the family, and I've seen her ever since she was itty bitty, all the way growing up. So, all the donations, we can always use those, the coats and stuff that come in. All the people that we're bringing in for tutors and coaches, and the event workers, and hopefully we keep coming back for school more. No more cold weather. Let's stop this for a little bit. I said at this point it seems like everybody's gonna be homeschooled, and I'm like, this is not working out well for some. My grandson was just, he's like, I need to go to school, and I'm like, you need to go to school. Oh, yeah, it's nice if they can, if Mother Nature will work with us and just get us through this.
Sure.
And the Dairy Queen's open on my side of town now, so tomorrow's the
Set
first
me
day.
with
So
the
that's
good
always
time, Mrs. Bloom.
well, that's always what to me. That's when spring is really
Signal.
starting. That's a
It's a
signal.
sign.
And the guy standing out there waving at everybody for taxes, dressed like a flame of some sort. I don't know.
That means it's coming, right?
Yeah, he looks like one of those torches. So I thought he was going to blow away the other day, but he didn't. He held his ground. That's it.
All right, thank you. Along those lines of inclement weather, I think so Superintendent Hurt, I think you do a really good job of making sure that all the kiddos are safe, and with the coordination with transportation and maintenance and everybody it takes to make those decisions. I would just encourage the general public to understand that those decisions are not easy to make. If you know our superintendent at all, you know that she wants kiddos in the buildings, learning, engaged with their teachers and their peers, and in that learning environment. These decisions aren't easy to make. Well, they are and they are. You're always going to err to the side of caution when it comes to protecting our kiddos. So just the same way that we protect the kiddos when they're in school, I think it's important to know that that decision is made to protect your kiddos to get to school or not. So just keep that in mind. And we all are very aware that a school closing or even a delay can present hardships and challenging situations for all of us working parents, and it can be tough. But we know these things come in the wintertime, and just try to have a backup plan to accommodate that. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Also, just another shout out to the administration and the teaching staff. When you hear things like, we seek federal dollars to make sure that we can provide tutoring for our students to perform at their best level for these OST tests. And we have a ton of professional staff who are knocking on your door, Abby, to say, is it time yet? Are we doing it? I mean, I think that's just very indicative of how important, the education of our students is to our teachers, and also that the success of our students is primary for our district. So when we hear grant dollars, Megan and all of us say yay, because if anything, well, yeah, as soon as we stay out of the general fund, you know what I mean. When we seek those grant dollars for opportunities, so that we can do things above and beyond, and again, that speaks to being a fiscally responsible district with funding that's available. So we thank you for that, and really truly thank you for all of the teachers and aides and people who decide to extend their school day a few or every night during the school week to make sure that our kiddos are good and prepared for those tests. So with that, ready to rock and roll?
Mm-hmm.
All done? All right. Thank you all for putting up with me tonight. I think I had it under control after that first one.
You did great.
Wonderful.
Let's adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please? Motion by Mrs. Bloom. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. All in favor. Let's do it. Discussion. That's exactly what I said, Megan.
No discussion.
No discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
We're adjourned.
Now we're adjourned.